Hold on 1 second. There we go. Hold on 1 second, y'all. All right, there we go. Are we good to go? What's up, YouTube? We should be good to go. So just letting you guys in. We started pressing recording a little bit later into this world. We are currently on Favorited. So if you guys have not yet followed the ministry on Favorited, Thoughts by T is the way to do so. We will be streaming there all week. In the evenings, we are shifting over and giving our all to growing and expanding on that platform. The mornings will still be on TikTok, but we will begin to gradually begin to shift over to Favorites. So be sure that you guys follow us there. And so we are talking about breaking the cycle and just how the let me scroll back up. What did we say last, y'all, here on Favorites? We said that the fear created the cycle, right? So God was dealing with me, and he said, like, you thought that every single time, like, you had a dream about snakes, that it was someone else. But it was really God showing me. He told me today, he said the snakes represented the spirit of fear and the spirits that attach themselves to fear, right? When we think about Leviathan, when we think about Python, when we think about Jezebel, like, fear is something that, like, draws those spirits in. It's just like people that are healing from narcissistic abuse. Like, if you have that fear, like your mindset, like a fear of going through that, a lot of times your fear creates a reality. Your fear creates a certain reality. If you got to say, I got it to you. Think about it. Like, even when we talk about, like, going through the process, like with God, and going through our wildernesses, like, when we think about God bringing us to a place of faith, getting to a place of faith comes from dealing with our fears. However, when we are choosing God, like, it's literally the thing that we're afraid of is the thing that He makes us face. We're in fear. We are. I feel like it's something that is just ingrained in us as humans. Whatever you're afraid of, you tend to run from. If a person is afraid of swimming, guess what they're going to run from? They're going to run from water. If a person is afraid of fireworks, guess what they're going to do? They're going to run from fireworks. If you're afraid of snakes, guess what you're going to do? If you see one, you're going to run from it. So in life, it is the same way. Spiritually, it is the same way. He was telling me that, like, certain experiences and encounters that I've had in life in general created a fear. And because I never faced that, the fear followed me into, like, different seasons, different years. And because I have this fear, it is giving the enemy all the ammunition that he needs to continue to make me run. And so it's like the devil does that so many times. It's only so many times he can do that before running becomes your new norm. So God told me, He says, when it revolves around breaking this cycle, you've got to actively stop running. Because if you don't stop running, the situation will replay itself. You will bring it over into a new year. It's kind of like people that have a fear of lacking financially. You can't show me a person that is afraid of financial lack, that is living in financial abundance. I'm gonna say that again. I'm gonna slow down. You cannot show me a person that is afraid of going broke in a place of financial abundance. In fact, the more fear the person has, the more lack they experience. And a lot of times what happens is fear gives us an unhealthy and a unrealistic, like, perspective of our life. So if fear is showing you things, false evidence appearing real, that's what fear is. If your fear is making you in a certain way and you're in survival mode, like, the way that you move like that. But a lot of times what happens because we're not properly perceiving our life the right way. A lot of times what happens in those moments is move in a way that gets us closer to experiencing the reality of our worst fears. And so that happens so many times. Guess what? Hey, Miss Allen, that happens so many times, and guess what? Now you have a certain dynamic replaying itself month after month, year after year, until you stop running. God told me today when I had that dream about that serpent, He says it wasn't about other people, it was showing you the opening within yourself. And He says, now that you see the opening within yourself, you've got to make a conscious decision. Will you continue to run, or will you finally deal with the elephant in the room? He says, because if you don't deal with the elephant in the room, you will find yourself still believing me to do the same thing in your life over and over again. And so it's like we're at the end of a year. Many people, myself included, feel like there were maybe some areas or some things in your life that God didn't do. If that's you, just say that's me, T. Some of us, even to a certain degree, we can even say like, man, I entered into this year full of hope, but like I feel real disappointed. I feel like God didn't do some things. I feel discouraged in some areas. My question to those of y'all that are saying that's me is, do you feel that way? You feeling that way, is it rooted in, and for a lot of us it didn't happen because certain things replayed itself over and over again. Let's just say if you said, coming into this year, I'm believing God for financial stability, and it didn't happen. Was it because you were running from trauma, running from what you thought was a worst case scenario, or did God really not do it? God told me that today. He said, it's not that I didn't bless this area of your life. I wanted to, but every single time I gave you an opportunity to face the fear that was holding you back, you gave the enemy even greater access to you. And because you operated in such a realm of light, in such a realm of fear, there were certain things that I just could not do. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit that thumbs up button. And what happens is we operate in fear. Fear creates the cycle. You go through the cycle so many different times. Now, guess what happens? Now you are hopeless. Now you don't even want to pursue it. Now, come on. Now you don't even want to follow God. You don't want to talk about that thing. In that moment, the devil has accomplished his agenda of stealing, killing, and destroying. He has accomplished that agenda. Point blank, period. And he didn't even really have to touch you to do it. He just had to sell the illusion of fear. Whew. God, this has been my day today. God said the devil has been punking you out of your spot, and you were blaming me. Your fear created the cycle, and you stayed in the cycle, meaning you didn't choose me over your fear so long that you grew discouraged. And the more discouraged you got, guess what? This situation got a little bit worse and a little bit more stagnant. Now that you're, coming to the end of a year and about to embark in a brand new year, make a different. I'm presenting you this opportunity again, and I want to see what you're doing. Come on, what you're going to do with it. God told me, He said, the slate has been wiped clean. Now make it your mission not to let the devil trick you out of your inheritance. Ooh. Oh, my God, today. I'm going to say it again. God told me. He said the slate has been, it don't start, it starts now. The slate has been wiped clean. Now that I've exposed what's been happening, don't you let the devil trick you out of what I want to do in your life. Don't you let the devil trick you out of prosperity. Don't you let him trick you out of favor. Don't you let him trick you out of your yes. Don't you let him trick you out of your spot. Whew. Choose faith. And choosing faith looks like doing the hard thing, doing the thing that come on. And I'm gonna say this: we're creatures of habit. So for many of us, these ain't new cycles. These are cycles that have been in our life for a year, 2 years, 3 years, maybe longer. And so what happens when you're involved in cycles and you're used to operating in a certain way, you develop a habit of thinking a certain way. And so a lot of times we develop also a habit of running from the thing that we should be doing. God told me, he says, you need to go against the grain of what your emotions are telling you to do. Because that's really what happens. We go through something emotionally, we feel away, and we make a decision. God said, I know your emotions are telling you not to keep going, but instead, what I need you to do is I need you to push the pedal to the metal. I don't know who this was for today, but it's Sunday. It's the start of the last few days of the year of 2024. God is saying, breaking the cycle puts you in a position for immediate, come on, for an immediate response from heaven. I'm gonna say it again. Breaking the cycle, choosing faith puts you in the greatest position that you can be in for an immediate response from heaven, which means that there is still time for God to do that thing in your life. For some of y'all, this week will be a week of getting vehicles. For some people, this week, these last few days, will, will be a week of you getting vehicles. I don't know why I see cars, I see vehicles. For some people, this will be a week of you seeing a long-standing battle come to a complete end. For some people, the month of January will bring you keys to living arrangements. And you will know if this word is for you because God is saying this is for the people that those areas, vehicles and housing, it's like a sore subject. It's like something that you feel like, God, I've been waiting on this forever and it has just not happened. Great disappointments where maybe you've been told no over and over and over again. God is going to make it his mission, if you choose faith, to do that thing in your life. Now you got to ask yourself, what does faith look like? The living arrangements thing is your portion, Visha. Rectifying that issue, God, rectifying that issue. Mayani, that vehicle, that part is your word. That part is your word. Miss Allen, you grab a hold of this as well. Whew. My God, today, if this has blessed you, can you just tell God thank you? We have 30, 31. In 3 days, we will be in a brand new year. In 3 days, we will be in a brand new year. For some of you guys, by the end of the year of 2024, the Lord is saying, it, come on, in 3 days, we'll be in a brand new year. For some of y'all, God is saying, before this year is out, if you choose faith, meaning moving in that direction that you need to move in, God is saying, hello, somebody. If you move in that direction, God is, you will see him do it. So ask yourself, what does faith look like? Monique, what's up, girl? Ask yourself, what does faith look like? Fear created the cycle, but faith will break it. I'm going to say that again. That felt good to me. Fear created the cycle, but faith will break it. Somebody type that in. Fear created the cycle, but faith will break it. That's it. This week, we are on Favorited at night, every night. Well, not every night, but almost every night. We'll be here in the evenings. Morning, I'll give it to TikTok. And what happens when you break the cycle? Blessings come through. Fear is like, you ever like try to use a hose pipe outside and it get a little kink and the water just drop? Fear is like that kink that stops you and prevents you from getting your blessings, from seeing God move in your life. But when you choose faith, the Bible says faith does what? It moves mountains. And if faith is moving mountains, you're getting your blessings. It means that you're getting what God has for you. And here's the thing, the enemy knows that if he can keep you in that kink long enough to where you're not receiving what God has for you, then eventually you will get tired and throw in the towel, which is why many people, even coming towards the end of this year, even especially in the month of December, this is why many people felt the greatest urge to throw in the towel. The greatest urge to just say, you know what, God, I am just over this. I am done. That is it. God was allowing things to come to a head so that he could show you the way out. The question is, now that God has shown you the way out, will you take it? Ooh. Now that God has shown you the way out, will you take it? You. Can you tell God thank you? The seed number today is the number 8. 8 is the number of new beginnings. In fact, it says I got 8 people watching me right now with YouTube included. 8 is the number of new beginnings. Because in this season, faith is producing and yielding a new beginning, a new result, and a new response from heaven. It's 8 people watching me right now. Ain't that something? I'm telling y'all. To those of y'all that have not that came in a little bit late, you can catch this replay, most of it on YouTube. Fear created the cycle, but faith will break it. And as you break cycles, you find yourself living a new normal, getting what's a shirt? you're gonna have to text it to me because I'm just flowing. That's it. That is it. That is it. That's it. Yes, I'm on YouTube as well, so you can catch the replay on YouTube for whatever broadcast you feel like you missed. You can always catch the replay on YouTube, which was a great strategy from God because it's like that TikTok and Favorite they don't have replays available. So it's like Fear Breaks the Cycle is a shirt. Okay, thank you. Hold on, let me take a picture of that. Hold up. Hold on, y'all. Thank y'all. That's it. The beginning of January, we have It's Already All Right shirts that are coming out. They will be on cream shirts, is what I'm thinking. We have what color, Lord? We have maroon, navy blue, and like a forest green. They will be available pretty soon. Each month, my goal in the year of 2025, each month is to produce a brand new shirt design. So, yeah, that's it. That's it. They will be on the site. We almost done with that shirt design. It's already all right. We almost done with it. But that's it. That's it. That is it. Again, if this is blessed y'all, can y'all tell God thank you? Can y'all tell God thank you? Mayani, I don't know. You just sent me a screenshot, and your battery life was on 88. I ain't lying. She sent me a screenshot of me. Y'all see that 88 at the top? 88. I ain't lying. There's still 8 people watching me right now. Not lying. If you're sowing, the seed number is 8. Whether you sow an 888, whether you sow an 8888, let the Lord lead you. That's it. Shamari, what's up, girl? I see you in here. That's it. Once you've sown, just come back and say seed sown. That's it. Once you've sown, we ain't got to put on the screen where people can sow to. The cash apps are the same. $ Mayani with 3 hours, $ Davisa Butler. You can sow via paypal.me/thoughtsbyt. You can sow via Zelle, thoughtsbytenterprises@gmail.com, or you can sow via Chime, $ But that is it. That's it. That is it. It don't matter if you sowing 8 cents. Whoo, Jesus. Ain't that something? All right, y'all. That is it. I will be back tomorrow morning. We will be on TikTok, 9:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, TikTok and YouTube. Tomorrow night, we will be back here on Favorited. Yep, I said it. Tomorrow night, we will be back here on Favorited. And so, again, if you know you need to sow, go sow. Moderators, do we even have a number? Do we have a number before I get off of here? That's it, though. That's all I got. One. I love y'all. I'm rooting for y'all. So, till next time, y'all.